Here we are again. Sorry for this strange setup. I've been trying to record this video for so long right now, and things just keep not working. The second time I tried to record the audio, the microphone apparently did not have any input at all, and now I can't get my recording system to start when I have the PowerPoint started regularly, and I wanted to get this done before my workgroup starts, so I'm just gonna do this. It's just gonna look like this. I'm sorry. The information is on the slides. Talking about the article Friendships in Childhood by Asher and Weeks. This sucks. Okay, whatever. At the heart of friendship lies companionship and having fun together. With friends, you engage in a level of self-disclosure that happens when you truly trust one another. When children are asked to describe friendship, they talk mostly about the companionship part. They report emotional support and intimacy less. These subjects do appear in their conversations with best friends even in early childhood. And even though these people develop still so much misreading the sentence. Even though these sensitive subjects are already discussed so young, so with sensitive subjects, I mean emotional support and intimacy, we as people develop so much due to all the social tasks that we encounter in life, and children have much to learn about how to respond competently to these social tasks. And friendship has its own set of tasks. Research on children's friendship is relatively new in science, only gaining popularity as a research aim in the 1990s, and this chapter describes how research on friendships as well as the broader field of peer relationships has evolved from the 30s to the present. In the 30s and 40s, the focus was primarily on child and parent relationships. They created new observational and sociometric methods and used these a lot, and laboratory-based psychology only became popular in the 60s. Still, in the 1950s, some scholars focused their attention to peer attachments as opposed to parent-child attachments, and during that period it was found that even orphaned children wanted to be together with their friends, showing upset when removed, and that the middle childhood years were very significant in forming strong attachment to friends. This really shows that even without having the bond to a parent, you can still bond with friends, and maybe these bonds become even more significant and important to an orphaned child. Much of the research on children's peer relations focused on acceptance versus rejection, and this began to change in the 70s and 80s when there came a bigger understanding that peer acceptance and friendships are distinct aspects. Sullivan's interpersonal theory, states that personality can be defined as a pattern of behavior related to situations of interaction with other people. Burmester and Perlman built on Sullivan's interpersonal theory and argued that friendship is a key context for the development of interpersonal competencies. Within friendship, youth learns that partners have opinions and preferences that might be different from theirs, and that this involves giving and taking. This is also important to learn for later romantic relationships. Smaller and Eunice also built on Sullivan's theory and proposed the Sullivan-Piaget hypothesis that argues that children develop understandings of social relations and the social world through interaction with friends. They provide a model with 3 stages to understand friendship. In the first stage, friendship is developed through proximity, positive interaction, and cooperation. In the second stage, friendship also becomes based on shared characteristics and qualities. And in the third stage, interpersonal sensitivity and emotional support is added. Parker and Gottman proposed a model of key features of friendship in different developmental periods. These features underlie developmental concerns, are realized through conversation, and are linked to the developmental skills and skills of emotion regulation. Sorry, I had to go to the next one. They proposed that in early childhood friendship, has the function of maximizing emotion experience and promoting development of regulation skills. This happens through coordinated play and resolution of conflict. In middle childhood, friendships function to gain acceptance by peers, and with friendships you start to understand emotional display and you learn to feel rules through gossip, for example. With feeling rules, they mean the set but not officially set social rules. In adolescence, friendships function to promote self-exploration and self-definition, which is done through self-disclosure and problem-solving with friends. Overall, a lot of research really pointed to the importance of distinguishing friendship from peer acceptance, and evidence was found that having a friend contributes to your social adjustment. Asher, Parker, and Walker did 14 intervention studies to get further evidence that acceptance and friendship are distinct. They found that children need certain skills to succeed in friendship, and even beyond the skills you need to be liked by a group. And these requirements are also called social tasks, which I haphazardly placed on this slide. These are the social tasks within a friendship, so not to be accepted by a peer group. And as it says above here, it says an incomplete list, but I think these are still important to recognize. There are a lot, as you can see. Further, the article talks a little bit about how they assessed friendship and peer acceptance, and that their samples were from all kinds of settings: school, non-school, kids living in a city, in the country, etc. But I'm not going to go further into that, because I think what's important about that will probably be discussed in a lecture. So yeah. Weiss gave a social needs perspective on social relationships, and he called the benefits you get from a relationship social provisions. These promote positive outcomes and protect against negative outcomes in a child's life. A negative feature of friendship could be conflict, which is found to be quite independent of the positive features. So a relationship can be high in positive features and also be high in conflict at the same time. A different type of relationship that we talked about was sibling relationships, in which there's also high support, high positive features, but also high conflict. These can coexist. Higher levels of negative friendship features are associated with poor adjustment. I also misspelled conflict. There you go. Friendship quality is assessed with multiple methods, including questionnaires, interviews, observation. And what was deemed very important in this research is finding the discriminant validity for friendship features. Lower levels of loneliness and overall peer acceptance are both related to positive friendship features. There is a diverse array of benefits that friendships provide, but there can also be pitfalls and vulnerabilities. It risks disappointment, hurt feelings, loss of companionship, and high-quality relationships can also accompany high expectations, which in turn can cause jealousy, for example. Some processes that make a friendship so rich and rewarding also have downsides. An example of this is self-disclosure, which contributes to a feeling of intimacy and closeness, but when it becomes too much, it also has negative effects. Nobody apparently really likes to listen to too much self-disclosure. I now realize that I put all these animations in there that also don't work right now. I did it all for nothing. Anyways, co-rumination is a process that lies at the intersection of self-disclosure and rumination. It involves discussing problems with a friend over and over, talking about these instead of engaging in other activities, and often people dwell on the negative affect that is associated with the problem that is discussed. There are gender and developmental differences when it comes to co-rumination. Girls engage in it more than boys, and co-rumination has been seen as a potential explanatory factor in depression due to the dwelling and possible contagion of internalizing problems. Microsocial conversational processes were observed in co-rumination, and friends who co-ruminated tended to respond to a partner's problem with engaged responses, which in turn enforces the co-rumination. This observation of microsocial processes allowed the researcher to see which specific aspects of co-rumination are associated with internalizing problems, which appear to be again the dwelling, whereas a lot of other aspects of co-rumination actually led to higher friendship quality. And of course, there are also processes of influence beyond the dyad. Parents, for example, engage in many different behaviors that can affect peer relations. The security of the attachment relationship is a feature that has received much attention when doing research into influences in peer relationships, and links between the two have been found. Social competence is an intervening variable in this connection. Teachers too can influence children's peer relations by, for example, acting as a positive interaction partner, teaching, modeling, reinforcing, punishing undesirable behavior, and arranging opportunities. Engaging children from different groups promotes the development of cross-group friendships. This follows directly from Alport's intergroup contact hypothesis, which said that prolonged, meaningful contact between in- and out-group members is the most effective way to reduce prejudice. It was also found that people who participate in the same extracurricular activities are more likely to become friends over the years. Students who became friends with people from a different race in those extracurricular activities have been found to have more positive attitudes about students from different backgrounds. Much research has been conducted in weird situations, so white, educated, industrialized, rich, and democratic situations. More cross-cultural research is getting attention and is definitely also needed. The timing is great. They're starting to drill outside my home right now. Sorry for this kind of hasty video. I really tried to make the slides pretty also, but I just couldn't get myself to where to work today. Good luck with studying. Thank you for listening. And hopefully I'll be able to record at least a little bit more.